I went to the grocery store this week and they had blueberries on sale, and I just love blueberries. I love blueberry muffins and anything to do with blueberries. So today we are going to make our coffee cake with blueberries. This recipe is in our third cookbook, and you've seen me make it with strawberries, but you have not seen me make it with blueberries. And I think you're going to love this recipe. It is super simple to make. Talk about easy. It is easy, and you don't even really have to have a hand mixer, but you can use one, of course. Now, make sure you get some nice fresh blueberries. And when I say fresh blueberries, I do want you to make sure that when you purchase your blueberries, you flip them upside down and you kind of look at them and you make sure there's no molded blueberries. Lots of times berries tend to, if they get the least bit moisture, they want to mold. So make sure that all your blueberries are pretty and intact, and look them over before you put them in your cake. All right. So we've got our blueberries out and ready. You're going to need a 9x9 cake pan. This is going to make a smaller cake, so that's great. You're not going to have a lot of leftovers if there's just a couple of you. And of course, if you are making it for a large crowd, then you can double the recipe and put it in a 13x9. But this recipe goes in a brownie size pan, 9x9 or 7x11. Okay, in this recipe for the cake batter, you're going to be using flour, which is self-rising. You're going to be using 2 eggs, some vanilla flavoring, 3/4 cups of milk. The flour is 1.5 cups, and then you've got a 1/2 cup of sugar that goes in it as well, and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You should have all the ingredients ready to make it at home, so you don't have to rush out and buy anything. If you've got the fresh blueberries because they were on sale, or strawberries, you can use it for this recipe. So I'm going to pull you up a little closer, and you're going to join me so that you can see how to make this delicious berry cake. Alrighty, in the recipe book, it tells you to add the ingredients as they're listed. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in 1/2 cup of sugar with 2 eggs. So I'm going to crack these eggs one at a time. And my chickens are laying some really pretty eggs right now. And I upped the protein in their diet, and now they're laying eggs that have a much better shell. We were feeding them a 16% protein feed, but now we're feeding them 20%, and boy, has it made a difference in their eggs. So we're going to mix this together. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 tablespoons of salted melted butter. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. You can use buttermilk or regular milk in this recipe, and I am using regular milk. All right, so we're going to put in 3/4 cups of regular milk, and now we're going to add 1 1/2 cups of self-rising flour, and of course we're using White Lily, the best flour on the universe. I'll start with a cup in here to start with, and then we'll add the 1/2 cup after we mix this up good. Once you add the flour into a cake batter, you shouldn't overmix it. It shouldn't take over 2 minutes to mix up your batter. And now we're going to add that last 1/2 cup of flour. I'm going to turn the speed up to medium and mix this up good for about a minute. And that should do it. Now, it will be a thicker batter if you use buttermilk. But the thinner the milk, the thinner the batter. Okay? Now we're going to take our pan. We're going to spray it good. Do a good job, because this is going to be sticky and sugary on the bottom. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pour your berries. If you're using strawberries, you would just slice them and make sure you got enough to cover the bottom. Okay? And this was a pint of blueberries. They were all in really good shape, so I didn't have to take out not even one of them. They were all very pretty. If for some reason you get a pint of berries and a lot of them are not all that great, just go ahead and buy 2 pints, because you may want to add a few extras in there to get your pan covered on the bottom. And you want your pan to be just covered with blueberries, all right? So that when you flip it upside down, it's going to look delicious. So there you have your blueberries. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a 1/3 cup of sugar, and you're just going to evenly distribute it across the berries. I'm going to turn this around and get the sides as well. And then you're going to take 4 tablespoons of melted salted butter, and you're just going to pour it over the top of them and try to get it in there pretty evenly. Now, I tell you, if you want to mix it up a little bit with a spatula or a spoon, you can if you think you need to do that to make it look even. But I'm not going to mess with mine. I'm going to leave it just like it is. I think it looks good. And now all we do is we take our cake batter and we pour that right over the top. We're going to get this in a 350-degree oven and cook it until a toothpick comes out clean. What we love about this recipe is that you can mix it up, have it in the oven, and out in 30 minutes, and boy, is it just fantastic. And it's good enough to serve for company. So if you're really busy in the kitchen making dinner and you want a quick dessert, this is a good one. We're going to slide this in our oven, and we will see you guys in a few minutes when it's done. All right, the cake is done. I put something in it and it came out clean. So I'm going to get me just a cooling rack out of my drawer, and we're going to sit it right here on the counter and let it cool down a little bit. Now let's see what the direction says. I think you're supposed to flip it out pretty quick. It says let it cool 5 minutes, and we're going to flip it upside down. So I'm going to time it 5 minutes, and we're going to flip it upside down. I'm excited, aren't you? It smells so good. All right, while we're waiting the 5 minutes, I'm just going to wipe off the counter good. And if you've ever tried this coffee cake with strawberries, let me know how you liked it, because I sure love it. And like I said, it's super easy, and it is in the second cookbook on page 53, and down at the bottom it just says use any kind of berry you want. So you can change it up for blackberry or blueberry or whatever kind of berry you got where you live. All right, let's find something to flip it out on top of that'll be pretty. This is a cake plate that I listed for sale not that long ago on our Amazon website store. And I liked it because it's really big, okay? Bigger than most of them. So a 12-inch dome would fit on top of it. And it will look good in the middle of this because it'll have plenty of room around it. And it was very affordable as well. So let me dry it off. I just wiped it off. I like to wipe everything off when they've been sitting on my shelf. I always want to wipe everything off. This is really pretty. It's got like a beaded design under it. See how it looks? Very nice. Now we're going to flip this out on top of it. And whew, I hope it goes well. Never use blueberries for this recipe, to tell you the truth. I've always used strawberries. So I think I'll put y'all right here so y'all can see up close. A little closer. And we'll just see how this is going to do. Now, you always have to get a spatula and mend it a little bit, all right? So we're just hoping that it's going to work. So here we go. Y'all ready? Oh, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's flip this like this. Pick it up, then flip it over. That makes a lot more sense, don't it? I'm going to scoot it over just a tad, right in the middle. Whew. That looks good, don't it? All the way around the cake. Now that is a berry lover's dream. Don't that look good? We're going to slice into this baby and get us a piece. And I'm sure that the longer this sits, the stickier it would be. That's how it's looking. Get it on the plate. Slices really well. So we're going to start making our streusel. I use a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, an 1/8 cup of flour, okay, and then we're going to put in some pecans, 3 tablespoons of butter. Needs to be room temperature, of course, so that you can blend it well. And we're going to blend this before I throw in the pecans. So you're just going to take your blending fork and blend in your sugar and your flour. So I'm just taking the blending fork and getting this all blended together for our streusel. If you don't have a blending fork, they're well worth a little bit of money. You have to pay for them on our website. Going to Amazon, it takes you to Amazon, but if you'll go through our website, it helps us support our show. Now we're going to throw in some pecans. I'm adding a little bit of flour, y'all, to make it a little bit more crumbly. You want it to be crumbly so you can get it on your muffins. I'm going to use my hands. Once you put the pecans in there, it's just easier to use your fingers to do your streusel at that point, so you can get it separated. All right, right, the next thing we're gonna do is mix up our muffins, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix up enough base batter and then add my fruit last so that I can do half blueberry, half strawberry. Okay, we're gonna start by melting 3 tablespoons of butter in our bowl. So just microwave that until it's melted. Now we're gonna add our sugar. It calls for 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And 2 eggs. 1 and 2. All right. So we're gonna mix this up. Now with muffins, you don't have to mix it up with a whisk because the batter is actually supposed to be a little lumpy. So mix this up first. We're going to put in some vanilla. And my recipe calls for buttermilk, but I don't have any. So we're just going to use 3/4 of a cup of milk. So that's going in. So easy, y'all. And now all we got to do is put in our flour. It's 2 cups of self-rising flour. Then we'll fold in our fruit and we'll be done. If you've got fresh strawberries, cut them up, put a 1/2 cup of sugar in those. Make sure you get the whole larger container full, and then put them in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Stir them up, pour them out on a pie plate, put them in the refrigerator, and let them cool down. And I don't need to really use them all. So I'm just getting some of the water out of these, y'all, for our muffins. These are big old pieces of strawberry. These are gonna be really good muffins. So we're going to put about half the batter in here. And just fold in your strawberries. All right, there's that one. Now we can throw in the blueberries. These are blueberries from last year that we picked. I like a lot. You're gonna fold in your blueberries. I love blueberry muffins. Chris likes strawberry the better. All right, we're gonna get over here and put them in the muffin tin. Uh-oh. I like to use a scooper, it just works better when you're putting in muffins. I should have the first time, but this recipe makes quite a few muffins. So I think I'll have enough batter at least for 6 more. Now we're going to put our streusel on them. We're going to do strawberry first because it doesn't have the cinnamon in it. And then I'm going to come back and sprinkle a little cinnamon on the blueberry. In my second cookbook, I have banana nut muffins, but now it is a lot lower in sugar. So if you like really sweet muffins, You have to add more sugar to that recipe. You really only have enough streusel if you do a really good job with your streusel for 12 muffins. We're just going to put cinnamon on the tops of the blueberry. All right, I put a little cinnamon on the blueberry. Now, I love nutmeg. I'm quite the exception, me and Chris, in our families, because nobody in our families really like nutmeg on either side. But if you want some nutmeg, of course, sprinkle it on there too. I don't think the strawberry would be very good with anything on it except just the plain streusel. So we're gonna get these in the oven and we'll see you in a few minutes. You're gonna cook them until they're nice and golden brown. And I don't give you a time on my recipe book because you should watch them and set them for about 25 minutes and then check on them. Woo, these have been in there for 25 minutes and they are beautiful. Perfectly golden brown, raised up a little over the top like I like for them to be. So the first thing I do when I get them out of the oven, y'all, quickly, because I want them to be crunchy around the outside, soft on the inside. These are the blueberry. And I'm gonna cut one for you while it's hot too. And these are the strawberry. And you might ought to make sure it's, you know, released around the edge. Good. Like these strawberry ones had really big pieces of strawberry. So I'm gonna make sure that they're loose before I try to pick them up so I don't tear them up. All I do is I take my fork, I put it inside the muffin, lift it up, and slowly bring it over to my cooling rack so that they can cool down and get crunchy on the outside. This is the blueberry. Yummy. This is the strawberry. All right, we are going to start with 3 tablespoons of room temperature butter, and we're going to add about an 1/8 cup of shortening. And we're going to be using 1 cup of white lily self-rising flour. Now this flour is light winter wheat, and it already has the baking powder and the salt in it. And we're going to cut this in with our blending fork. This is just an old-fashioned antique blending fork. And you can purchase these on the website. Of course, they're not going to be antiques, but they are on there. The ones on the website look like this. And they work just as good. So you're going to get that blended in until that shortening and the butter is about pea size. And now we're going to add some sugar. And I think we should add about we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. And now we're going to use buttermilk. And I'm going to try to measure this for you, but you're going to see that my buttermilk is pretty thick. So I'm just going to put a cup in here. And of course, we're not going to use that much. But once I get it to the consistency that I like it, then we're going to know how much did go in there. That's probably going to do it. So you're just going to mix this up with your blending fork until all the flour is incorporated into the dough and sugar. That's about perfect. And they are a little soft, so it was not quite a 1/2 cup, but really close, okay? And now we are going to put out some flour on our counter. And we're going to add the blueberries once I get this on the counter. So just get your dough out on the counter. All right, the buttermilk. When you add liquid to your biscuits, whether you're making a regular biscuit or a sweet biscuit, you need to do it sparingly, because when we give you a recipe and we give you an amount of a liquid, if I'm using whole buttermilk because it's really thick, it's a different consistency than a regular milk or a low-fat buttermilk. So what I want you to do is add your liquid. You can measure it, but add it a little at a time until you can get all of that flour bound together, and don't use any extra. So it's possible you could have a little liquid left over by what I tell you to use. All right? And now we're just going to put some flour in these biscuits, and we're going to add some blueberries to them. And I am just going to add enough to cover them. So just get you some, like a pint, well, a half pint. I think this was like a half pint of blueberries. And then you're just going to start folding them in your dough. When you're incorporating this extra flour, boy, that's going to be delicious. I can guarantee it. Good stuff. So you're just going to fold them a few times. Get that mixed in there really good. Flatten them out about 1 inch tall. And cut them. You can cut through the berry. These are fresh blueberries. Now, if all you have is frozen, you could do the same thing with frozen ones, but don't thaw them first. Put them in there frozen. Now you can make these in any aluminum pan, or you can make them in a cast iron skillet. However you want to do it works. You're going to put these in the oven at 450 degrees, and we're going to make a glaze to glaze them with once they come out of the oven. And we grew up around Bojangles, and they had bowberry biscuits. And of course, these have fresh blueberries in them and plenty of them. So they're going to be even, of course, better. All right. So let me get me a pan ready, and we're going to get these in the oven. All right, I got me a flat iron. This is a iron skillet. You can use anything you want. But this is what we're going to use today. So I'm greasing it, and I'm going to put these on it. Just like that. We're going to get these in the oven and bake them at 450 degrees until they're nice and golden brown. Good and brown. Now, if you use an aluminum pan, they're actually going to get crunchier on the bottom than if you use cast iron. Cast iron does not really get them quite as crunchy on the bottom typically. So we are going to mix us up some delicious glaze. We're going to be using we've got about 3 tablespoons of butter in here, and it's at room temperature. I actually melted it, but it has hardened up a little bit at room temperature. All right, and then there you have a cup of powdered sugar. We're going to add just a little bit of vanilla. And a tablespoon of milk, and we're going to go ahead and put in another tablespoon of milk. And we're going to mix this up till it's nice and creamy. And you're going to want to mix this up and get it on these biscuits while they're nice and warm. That was a lot of butter. I might ought to add me just a tiny bit more powdered sugar. So you might not need 2 tablespoons. Just use about a tablespoon and a teaspoon or something like that. Just use your judgment. All right, we're going to pour this over the top of our biscuits. Now, after you mix up this glaze, if you'll let it sit a minute, it's going to get a little bit thicker. But you're going to want to put it on your biscuits while they're still pretty warm as well. There should be plenty of it. Using a whole cup of powdered sugar. Looks good. And now we're going to get one of these biscuits out of there and give it a try. Let's try to get this one first. It's Chris and Tammy with Collard Valley Cooks. Paul's coming over here today to help us in the house with a couple of plumbing things, and I'm making his breakfast. Okay, so we're gonna grab this. I may let Amy make it. Amy's been helping me cook. Me and her's got to get a chicken pot pie in the oven. Yesterday we started a chicken pot pie, y'all, and the power went off right when we were about to make the gravy. So really the timing was pretty good, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah.
So we got to restart that video today.
Yeah, we'd have had a mess if it went off right in the middle while we was making that gravy.
Yes, we would have. So I asked him, did he want blueberry biscuits? And he said he just wanted something simple that he could grab and eat and get to work. Because they want to go fishing today if possible. Right, Eddie?
Yeah, Paul's the guy that I fish with all the time on my channel. And
I'm just washing my hands.
Yeah, he's Mr. Electrician.
He's a handyman.
Plumber, builder, fixer, upper. So
Jack of all trades.
He was
in the military. He's a really smart guy, ain't he, Chris? Okay, so let's make, this is too little. Too little. Let's make a few biscuits, y'all. Make a 2-cup recipe.
Okay.
I'm using shortening today. Mom's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mom's little baby loves shortening bread. Handful of shortening. Use your blending fork, blend it together. It only takes a minute to make a biscuit. A good one too. I love shortening biscuits, and I like those sour cream biscuits. And I've made them. I don't like lard biscuits personally, and I don't like butter biscuits made with butter that much because they're not as light and fluffy as shortening biscuits. Now the sour cream does a really good job, and I use butter with it. And I've actually got my oven turned up a little higher today than I normally do because I want to impress Paul with my biscuit. and cook it quicker. So the quicker you cook it, the softer it will be on the inside. Okay, so all my recipes call for the biscuits to be cooked at 450 degrees, but my granny cooked them at 500 degrees. My mama cooked them at 450. So it's just according to what I'm in the mood for, but most of the time 450 is it. All right, let's get some buttermilk in here. The last time I made biscuits for you guys, I was out of buttermilk. Today I got some buttermilk. We just add a little bit at a time. Buttermilk that's whole is a lot thicker. And so it takes more of it, lots more than thinner milk to get your biscuits mixed up. I was kind of generous with my flour today.
You'll make a lot of biscuits.
Yes, because Amy's here and she's going to work. She could take one to work with her. We've got leftover chicken in there. She could make a chicken biscuit for her lunch with cheese, because I think she's got a microwave there. Goodness, that's a lot. Now that was a lot. We'll get it in a minute. I'm just going to use my hand, y'all. I'm ready to use my hand. Okay. Just bite the bullet and do it. So I'm getting Amy in the kitchen and she's helping me this summer. So y'all are going to see her sometimes. Right now she's in the bed.
Not going to see her this morning.
But like she's going to help me with the banana pudding. She has to be at work today at 3. She works on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday she doesn't go in until 3, I think. But now Saturday, Sunday, she works all day. She leaves early and gets home after dark. Now, the more you knead them, the taller they're going to be and rise. If you don't knead them much, the softer they're going to be. So it's up to you whether or not you want a tall biscuit that you can pull apart and stuff, or if you want a soft biscuit. Really. And they say don't twist this, don't twist it, and they'll rise taller. That's what the experts say. I say I've never really studied it that much. I like to put them close together, but since the oven's up pretty high, we're not going to go too close.
Yeah, and you can actually like see the folds in there when she folds it over, kneads it.
Yeah, the more I fold it, you can.
You can see the layers.
A biscuit's a biscuit's a biscuit. But a white lily biscuit is a good biscuit. Like that one's bottom layer stayed over here on the counter.
Yep.
Get in there.
It's kind of like those canned biscuits that have the layers, isn't it?
Well, much better than
Well,
those.
I don't mean it tastes like them. I just mean
They have layers.
how they have layers.
Yeah.
Well, you got this one pan. You're not even going to need it, are you?
I'm going to make a few blueberry.
Nice. That's what
We're
I was
going to
hoping
slide
for.
them in while the sausage is cooking.
That's what I was hoping for. I was disappointed in Paul when he said he just wanted a sausage biscuit. I was like, come on. It's like, come on, man. You can get anything you want.
I could make cinnamon raisin or blueberry. Which one do you want?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. Okay. So we're going to pat these and get them in the oven, set a timer, and we're going to start some blueberry. Will you open that so I won't get it so dirty?
The bottom one?
Yes.
Okay.
Here you go.
We're going to have to watch them since we got it on that higher temperature, girl.
Eddie, tell me how to cook.
Hot.
I'm ready.
Better be careful.
Set the timer for me.
Oh, what do you want it on?
15 minutes.
15
Well, I
minutes.
guess what is it now?
It's not cook time, is it? It should be kitchen timer on.
Right.
1, 5. Oh. Nope. Come on. Oh, I guess it is. Well, it says set. This.
Come on, Daddy.
Kitchen timer. Set. 1, 5, 0, 0. No, that's an hour and 50 minutes. Okay.
Maybe I should set the timer.
Off. Clear. Set.
Let me do it. Uh-oh, I dropped a blueberry. All right. Just clear it and clear it, whatever you've done. Where's
That
the
means you
timer you
cut the-
used? This one?
All you did was cut the oven off.
I know that.
Okay, then.
5. Bake 500. Start.
Okay.
Timer.
Gotcha.
1, 5.
See, it says on.
Start.
Well, you did it.
Okay. Let's do this.
That's very confusing.
Let's do this.
Y'all know it.
Well, let's go ahead and start the sausage.
Okay.
We're going to start some sausage, then we'll make some blueberry biscuits. So I'm just going to slice this right here. When I defrog my sausage, wait a minute, it's thrown one. When I defrost my sausage in the microwave, this is a good microwave for it. It doesn't cook it at all. Not even the end of it did it cook.
Wow.
I know, it's a good microwave. It's a GE.
Yeah.
And so when I do my sausage, I always cut the ends of it off because it's got that little metal piece on it. And then I'm just gonna get this out so I can do this quick.
Not messing around.
Nope.
Not this small.
Show ain't. I can already smell those biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fast that flour starts to smell when it's on 500 like that. Let's do one more, you think?
Why not?
So you can have leftovers, you know, and warm them up tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay, that'll get started. And let's start some biscuits. I'm gonna turn on my fan. All right, let's mix up some blueberry biscuits, y'all. I'll do a heaping cup. I gotta get something out of here. I gotta get sugar. What else you want? You don't want any spice, do you?
However you made them that last time.
I
That's how I want 'em.
have whipping cream.
Okay.
Um,
Well, then just do whatever.
I'm just gonna use milk.
Okay.
Now I don't use buttermilk in my blueberry biscuits. You can. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Let's put some sugar in it. Y'all want a recipe? You can go online and get the recipe, okay? But today we're doing this fast. And I should have cut in my butter first. But we'll pretend I did. How's that?
All right. CollardValleyCooks.com.
CollardValleyCooks.com, Southern recipes. There's over 650 recipes on there. You can print. We have 4 cookbooks. And so this recipe is in one of our cookbooks. I think it's in
I can't remember which one it's in. You can tell when you go on there.
I think it's in number 3.
I've got all the recipes. When you go on, let's say you pick biscuits. You got to go to breads. Then there's a pull down for biscuits or cornbread. You go to biscuits. And then you choose. When you choose it, it'll tell you which cookbook it's in. Okay? So we're going to add a little milk to this. Now it won't take as much milk, near as much milk to make these as it did to make the buttermilk ones, because it's thinner. So I always add it a little bit at a time. And yeah, I get my jug dirty, but all you gotta do is take your dish rag and wipe it off when you're done. Okay? Now these are a little bit stickier than regular biscuits because they do have a little sugar in them. And they also are gonna brown quicker because they have sugar in them as well. So, keep that in mind.
Do you still cook them on 500? Or
I'm going to today.
Okay.
Because that's what my oven's on. Heck yeah. I put my blueberries in once they're on the counter. I need some more flour. Okay. My daughter said, "What is this all over your mix, your sifter, Mama?" I said, "It's dough." She said, "Ain't that kind of gross?" I said, "No, it means I cook." I said, I don't think so. So what I do with these biscuits is I pat them out like this. Add the blueberries. And then I fold the blueberries in. You get your tail over there, blueberry. And you can't smash them too much or the blueberries are going to smash, okay? Now, most of the time when you go out, just like I told y'all, we went to a biscuit company and it was a joke. But most of the time when you go out, people make cinnamon biscuits. They use those cinnamon chips and they use blueberry chips, but you can make fresh blueberry biscuits at home like this. Just press them gently till you get them about the right height. You don't want to get them too tall because you want them to get done. And now we're going to cut them. It'll cut right through a berry. See how it does? You're going to put them in your pan. Come on up here close, baby. Give them a close-up. That pretty? Now we're going to glaze these with some vanilla glaze. Blueberry. I'm going to have to put them closer together so I can get one more in here. Let's just roll up this one and put it in the middle.
Okay.
How about it?
Let's do it. Go.
All right, just a second. We're going to throw them in, but I'm going to do some first. So y'all can have one for now and one for later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love now and later candy. Makes me think of it. All right, let me get some sugar crystals. I can find my sugar crystals. They should be in. Well, I don't see it. Oh well.
Didn't they used to be,
It should be in this, because this is my baking one. So we won't fool with those.
Well, hang on. You're all over the place.
I know.
That's awesome.
So what I'm going to do is just put them in the oven, and then we're going to make a little bit of vanilla glaze to glaze them with. We're going to clean up our mess right quick. We're going to flip the sausage, clean up our mess, and then wash our eggs. All right, here we go. Come on over here, Daddy. We'll slide these in here. You can tell our biscuits are already done. They're going to be done in less than 7 minutes. So, all right, let's flip this. And then clean our counter, wash our eggs. Oh, let's turn the light on for y'all. Ta-da! I've got to turn my light on. This fish spatula that's got silicone, it's good for using in these nonstick pans, because I don't like all silicone spatulas because you don't have a lot of control. This is really nice. It's on the website, and I want to say it's under $10. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's got a black piece of silicone, so if you think you can't see it, the silicone on the one on our website is black.
Yeah, they get stuff all over them, don't they? Those all plastic ones.
They're rubbery.
Yeah, they just
and
don't work
you just
good.
can't control.
Yeah.
You can't, just like a whisk is a joke, because
Yeah.
it moves so much that it doesn't beat it good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
My eggs have lost their
Their water?
water. Great. All right, we're going to put some water over them.
Okay.
Go ahead and take this off, Lily. So it's really easy to clean up your mess. I'll show you how quick. And when you wipe flour up, you always want to use cold water. Now, if you're making gravy, you could actually use this flour to make your gravy, as long as you take the dough out of it. If it's got some dough in it like that. But we're not making gravy today, y'all. We're making gravy for my chicken pot pie today, but we're not making enough that I don't use it. I mean, I don't use that for my gravy for my chicken pot pie. All right, so we're going to wipe off our jug, put them in the fridge. And then we're going to get our biscuits out before they get too done. Let's scoot these back to the middle. I'll go ahead and turn this oven down to 450.
There's Paul. Cut these off.
Okay. And what's so crazy is that I get as many blue eggs as I do brown eggs.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how many other chickens you got? You got 5?
10.
Oh, I thought that makes sense then.
But no, I get as many blue though. So that means the blue layers lay a lot more eggs.
Oh. But you said that 5, you had 5 of them with black feet.
5 and 10.
Oh,
with
10 regular, so you have
regular
15 total.
Yes.
So that should be a ratio of 2 to 1.
Right, but look, see this?
Yes. That is not a ratio of 2 to 1.
No, it's not. Okay, we're going to get this off
Okay.
and make some Miller real quick,
Mhm.
and then we're going to be done.
Then we'll be done.
We're almost done, Paul.
Okay. I didn't
This
realize.
is Paul, Chris's buddy. He fishes with. Everybody say hello. He has a channel.
I do have a channel.
Go ahead and let him tell you about his channel.
Oh, it's a fishing and how do it channel at Horsley Retirement Adventures.
Mhm.
Y'all
And he
heard-
actually made Tammy's crab cake recipe the other day
Oh, I
on his
did.
channel, Tammy.
I did.
So you probably got some new subscribers.
I didn't think you would like those because they're so different than yours.
Well, they were still great. They were still good. They were fantastic.
I'm kind of strange when it comes to crab. Like, Chris really, we just went to that restaurant the other day, and Chris loves it to be soft and mostly crab. And to me, it's like tuna salad
Oh,
because it's so wet.
Chris don't know nothing.
I mean, people love it that way, but I just feel like it's not done enough, so I put a lot more breading and stuff in mine.
See, I did. I substituted some breading. I put a lot more breading, and then I put it in the oven and broiled them.
Okay, yeah.
And when it got brown and crusty, I flipped them.
Okay.
And then it got brown and crusty on the other side. It was like eating a cookie with crab meat in it.
Oh, good.
Cookie with crab meat.
All right, we're gonna make a little bit of vanilla.
But I did that on my reels. I did it on reel instead.
Paul
of,
does Facebook and YouTube.
I do.
So if you're a YouTube person, you can go to Paul's YouTube and just get learned.
I have such a short span of attention that I do reels because they're only 90 minutes.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. Yeah,
90 minutes,
seconds.
that's a long time.
90 minutes. I can't do
That's an
nothing.
hour and a half.
I can't do nothing for
Isn't
90
that?
minutes.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. 90 seconds? I'm your man.
I'm just making a little bit of vanilla icing.
Are you?
For I made blueberry and regular biscuits. So you could take them or eat one later. The blueberry.
I could have dinner,
Yeah.
lunch dinner, dinner.
So anyway, I'm gonna melt just a little bit of butter. Just mix up a little bit of glaze, you don't need a lot, for your biscuits. So here we go. Vent fan, turn off.
Well, when you put a
Okay, we're gonna make a little bit of icing with some butter and powdered sugar and some Miller. Let me get some vanilla. Flavoring, a little vanilla. Taking my time, man.
Wow, that's really little.
Well, look how little bit of icing I'm making,
she
Dick.
said a little.
I wondered why she was being so careful. Now I know.
Yeah. She said a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put just a tiny drop of water.
Okay.
Okay. Little drop of water. And there you got it, icing.
Has this always been on your floor? Or did you guys put this in?
We
We
just
put it
put it
in.
in
Smart.
for my legs.
Yeah. That is really cool.
I really like it. I can walk around in here barefoot and it's so
Oh my
comfortable.
gosh. I feel like doing like a somersault or something or a cartwheel.
That's what it is. It's like a gym floor,
like a gym floor.
or a dance studio
Yeah.
floor, or like a workout gym floor.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, Soda, let's dance.
Well, I think they're ready.
It is. That's nice.
I love it.
Yeah, did Chris put
I mean,
this
it's
in?
not the most beautiful floor, but who cares?
Professionally installed
I can work on it.
by me.
The first time I cooked on these floors, OMG, my legs.
Oh yeah. You got to get used to the ceramics.
All right, here's our blueberry biscuits.
Man, that
Aren't
looks
they
good.
pretty? And we're just gonna put a little, I'll put half this icing on them now,
Okay.
and then we'll put half of it on them. Well, I say that. We'll go ahead and put it all on. I didn't make a ton of it, so.
Looks good. Yep.
So what I'm gonna do, y'all, is I'm just gonna pull out one of these blueberry biscuits, show you our biscuit, and then we're gonna sign off, and we're gonna enjoy our breakfast. All right, here's my regular biscuit that you saw me make. We're just gonna make sausage biscuits out of those and egg biscuit, and then let's lift up one of these. So here's the beautiful blueberry biscuits. They're really good.
And that should be plenty for this many biscuits. Chris loves a lot of glaze on anything that I make. He's the glaze nut. He loves it to be real sweet. That's so good. Better than a donut to me. There's nothing like a biscuit. If you're not from the South and you've never had a biscuit, get you some stuff and make one of these. And you're going to love them. Mmm. They are so delicious. With my coffee on a Saturday morning. Thanks for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.